And we are live with another episode of the Brownwater Banter podcast. I am Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Case.
That's right. And in the studio today, we have Trevor Reid. He's going to be talking to us about the downtown Ocean Springs downtown Crawfish cook-off. It's going to be a damn good party, and he's going to give us all the details on that. But before we jump into that, we want to thank our sponsors right out of the gate, just like we always like to do. You know it. You're getting familiar with his name now. I'm absolutely sure of it. It's Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles, man. They're located in Ocean Springs right there on Washington Avenue. If you're looking for a great local dentist who can talk fishing in the outdoors with you, that's his beautiful face right there.
It's lovely.
Good friend of ours. That's his staff, man. If like I said, if you're looking for a great local dentist, he's your guy. Go check him out. You can hit him up on all the social platforms. They're on Instagram and Facebook at Southern Magnolia Smiles. If you want to check them out on the traditional website, that's southernmagnoliasmiles.com, or give them a call on the landline at 228-215-1202. Next up is the Harrison County Development Commission. We want to thank them for sponsoring us this month and let y'all know about them. They have a C-Force training program that's one of the coolest things that we've talked about on the show before, where they take high school kids, partner them up with whatever career field that they're interested in, and kind of let them get a taste of what they might be getting into before they go into college, see if they really like what they think they want to major in, or even with trade programs, same thing. It's a great program. They bring a lot of business in here to Harrison County, and they do a lot for this area. So you can check them out on their website. Just Google Harrison County Development Commission. They'll pop right up, and check them out and see what kind of cool stuff they're doing over here on the Gulf Coast, man, bringing some businesses in here and supporting the area and putting people to work. Next is Hilltree Marketing. They do website and graphic design, social media management, IT services, videography, photography, and aerial cinematography. They have a bunch of cool stuff that they can do if you're a local business or an individual looking for a website, someone to help you out on the digital front. Go check them out. And I'm actually going to share real quick. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see.
Get that picture.
Let me see. Yeah, I got to pull the picture down. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. All right, you can see here. I'll scroll over here. That's Jesse. He's the one who owns the company, and he's got a great team built out here. We wanted to show you them here. That's Jesse right there. That's his wife. She's part of the team. He's got photographers, digital artists here. Let's see. She's a photographer and content creator. Paige here. Keep scrolling. Another photographer of his. And what is this? A team manager and editor. So wanted to kind of put some faces and names to Jesse's team here so you could check them out and see. If you're looking, like we said, anything digital, there's someone you need to go check out, hilltreemarketing.com.
That's it.
And then our last sponsor that we want to mention here for the month, oddly enough, is
sitting right across the street from
the downtown Ocean Springs Crawfish Cook-Off. And that's going to be May 29th of this year, downtown Ocean Springs. It's the third annual. And if I mess this one up, I've got the guy right here to correct me. But I do believe it's going to be around 2,000 pounds of crawfish with around 22 teams all gunning for like the number one spot. People that show up, you pay your admission, you come in, you start eating crawfish, you're drinking beer, and you get a ticket, and you get to vote on who you think is the best team, right? I was there for the first one, and I had a great time, got to eat some great crawfish. Very tough decision. I don't remember the team that won it that year, but I know it was a good time. So, Trevor, without further ado, man, thanks for stopping by today, talking to us, and let's talk all things crawfish and Budweiser, man.
Yep.
Yeah, let's get to it. The first team to win on our first year was Community Bank.
Was it?
Yeah.
I figured I would remember that.
Yeah, it was actually Dr. Sam and another guy cooking with them, so they got the reward. And our second year was Southside Barbecue, which they're competing this year again too. So glad to have them back. We actually I totaled the numbers yesterday. I said 2,000 plus pounds of crawfish. Yeah. We're actually at 2,600 pounds of crawfish.
Woo! That's a pile.
And we're at about 25 teams. So it's going to be a fun event. 17 vendors, 25 teams. It's going to be a good time to come out.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So third annual.
Yep.
Did it get last year? COVID just kind of.
Yeah. So last year is a crazy story. Me and Michael, we had been hinting the idea about doing a crawfish cook-off again because we did our first official one in 2017. We skipped 2018, and then 2019 is when we really kicked it off with the Budweiser Downtown Ocean Springs Crawfish Cook-Off.
So you had some preliminaries in there before.
So we did the first one in 2017 to kind of test the waters and see how it went, and it went well. We had I can't remember how many teams we had. I was hoping Michael would be here, but he might show up. We'll see. But we had like maybe like 19 teams on the first one. But yeah, we kicked off the first one in 2019. Great turnout, and then COVID happened. So we were really scared because we launched the event early February. That's usually once we the end of July. Not the end of July. The end of January is when me and Michael go to the city and we do our city applications to get permits for the event and everything. So we got the green light to go in early February of 2019. The end of February 2019, kind of beginning of March, that's when the COVID pandemic really hit.
2020. You said 19.
2020. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2020.
Yeah. Yep.
So the beginning of February 2020, that's when the COVID pandemic hit. We didn't know what was going to go on.
Yeah.
So we had already green lighted the event. We had already started the marketing process. We had already paid for because we pay Waste Pro for dumpsters, porta potties, all that stuff. We pay another rental company for tables, chairs, tents, and all that stuff to make the event, comfortable.
And then the world stopped turning.
So the world stops turning. So from February, and the first thing they say is like 14 days. So so we're like, all right, let's wait out 14 days and see what happens. So we never did anything. We really didn't market the event. We had launched the event and we just kind of let it sit stagnant until, 14 days later. And that's when nothing really changed yet. And so we were like, okay, what are we going to do? So then we waited like another 15, 14 days till about, we were sitting stagnant.
What was supposed to be the date in 20? What was the date going to be? Do you remember?
It's always the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend.
Okay. All right. Good.
It's always the same date. That Saturday of Memorial Day weekend is when we do it. So we do it on that Saturday of the 3-day weekend. So we were we're just waiting, like, what are we going to do? Because we didn't want to push the event and market the event and try and get pre-sales if the event's going to be canceled. And then we waited until about... I can't remember exactly when it was. It was like the beginning of May, the end of April is when the governor finally released like, hey, let's get back to normal. Let's open places back up. And that's when the first like kind of COVID shutdown ended.
Yeah.
And things started to kind of open back up and get back to normal. So literally the date that we had planned for the Crawfish cook-off happened to fall perfectly with like the first
nailed it. Y'all nailed it.
The first like let's open back up,
right?
Let's be done with COVID. And then literally like in June and July, that's when it like locked down again.
Right.
So like right when that wave happened, we just happened to book the perfect date and we were able to pull off the cook-off. And what was awesome is we were the first major event in 2020 that happened. The first major like people come together event. The Coliseum in Biloxi, they had their big cook-off. They canceled 2020.
Yeah.
So we were the only cook-off to happen in 2020, and we were the first major event to really happen.
So that sounds vaguely familiar.
We've been over chopping at the bit. I can tell. We had the same situation. Joey and I, we and our buddy David, we put on our first little kind of event that we were going to do, the Sheep's Head Showdown. And we had it scheduled for March of 2020, right? And we already had the Blind Tiger on board. We already had sponsorships, and we already had a pile of pre-sale tickets sold, entry fees sold. And we're sitting there watching. We're like, COVID, when is this? Like the flu? Like what's going to happen? They're closing shit down. Like, oh, this will be a week or two, and then it's get worse and worse. And we're like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we're an outdoor event. We're going to be fine. They're not going to close everything down. And you're talking about the first lockdown kind of thing was right
2 days.
Yeah, before we're in contact with the Blind Tiger. They're like, I don't know if we should do it. I don't know if they're going to shut us down. We don't know yet. And we were like, look, let's just pull the pin. We don't want to have, cause any problems or whatever. And we had to reschedule it to October. So we lost our event in 2020, but it ended up working out and it was great.
Yeah.
And,
if you were the first event, we were probably the second. In October.
Most likely. There wasn't much that happened in 2020.
No,
right.
And the feedback that we received was awesome. Like all of the participants that came out, WLOX came out, WXXV Fox came out, and all of the feedback that we received to put on the event was very positive. They were all happy. They were like, we're tired of being at home. We're glad you guys did this, and whatnot. It's good to be out and actually have an outdoor event again.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it worked out perfectly timing wise for us, and it wasn't planned. It's just the way it happened.
Just luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Right?
Rachel in the comments wants to know, when is the event? It's May. I already had the
May
flyer.
29th.
May 29th. Yeah. So not too far away here.
Yeah, not this weekend, but next weekend, May 29th. It's in the parking lot next to Pleasance Barbecue on Government Street.
And that's your
what
buddy.
he said, yeah.
That's that guy.
Yeah,
right?
Michael is supposed to come.
That's that guy right
He's
there.
right there.
Yeah,
He's
right
running
there.
late. Hey, he runs a business. He's got a family. You can relate.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Yeah. But yeah, so downtown, right there on Government Street,
Yep.
right next to Pleasance Barbecue, for people, you know where that's at.
Yep.
That whole little, what is that? Like a little public parking area.
Yeah,
right?
it's a public parking lot owned by the city. It's just like a 61 to 62 car parking lot. And during our event, we block it off and we fill it with 25 teams, 17 vendors, and all the crawfish that you can enjoy.
Y'all had
Sweet.
the Tall Boys there the year I was there. So live music, right? Is that going to be the same thing this year?
We're going to have the first year, 2019, which is the year that you were there. We had the Tall Boys. The second year, which kind of goes back to the whole COVID restriction things, we couldn't have live music during the COVID restrictions. So we could have an event, but we couldn't have live music.
Because
Those ears will get you.
Well, the wave, the frequency wave was carrying the virus.
We
right?
won't get into the politics of that, but
right.
But so we had to cancel our live music for 2020, and we didn't have any music. So this year we have live music again, and we have the Tall Boys back again.
Okay,
Sweet.
cool.
Yeah,
Cool,
so-
good deal. They always put on a damn good show, man.
Oh,
They're fun.
they're like the crawfish kings of music.
Right,
You know what
right.
I mean?
They're-
As long as you got Coors Light, right? And they only drink Coors Light.
Hey,
Easy,
keep it
easy,
there.
easy.
Budweiser.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
we're
okay,
sponsored by
yeah.
Budweiser this time.
It's a
So-
Budweiser event.
What-
Yeah.
That's funny you say that, because the first year that they came out, they were doing Coors Light. They were
Right.
drinking Coors Light. The Budweiser guys kind of got upset with me because they were like, "Hey, the live music is doing shout outs to Coors Light."
Well, and all their merch, they were selling.
They look
Yeah.
like
No, no, no.
Coors Light
Yeah,
logos.
on the back
Yeah,
it says
yeah,
Coast
yeah.
Trash. And
Shout out to
Coors
the
Light.
Tall Boys. I love y'all. Shout out to Mitchell Distributing. We love y'all. So
We
the
love
Tall
both
Boys
y'all.
this year, I've had a discussion with them. The Tall Boys this year, they're not Coors Light. They're Busch Light.
Busch Latte.
Hey,
Busch Light.
Busch
Hey.
Latte.
Busch
That's
Latte.
fancy. It's
Yeah.
Busch Latte.
I love Busch Light.
It's Busch
Yeah.
Latte. Yeah, that's good.
That's delicious.
All right, we can work with that.
Yeah.
I love Busch
And that's
Light.
trashy enough for them too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. It's Coast Trash.
Yeah,
Straight up.
they'll fit right in with
Yeah.
that.
All right, so explain the concept. We go around, everybody bowls, gets one sack of crawfish. I'm guessing they're getting a 45-pound sack of crawfish.
All of the teams get two 40-pound sacks of crawfish.
Okay.
So we, the teams sign up. We supply them 2 sacks of crawfish. They go set up. They cook the crawfish. Participants that come into the event, they get about, I think it's 3 voter tickets. So they can vote for their favorite as
Yes.
they go along. Each team gets like 2-pound serving trays. So they pretty much
Right.
serve a sample. And then you can go around to each team, get a sample tray. You can go sit down and eat it anywhere. And then whatever one is your favorite at the end of the day, whenever you decide to leave, if you're a participant, however long you're there, you get to go vote for your favorite teams with one of the tickets that we give you. Each team has like a bucket at their table, so you just pretty much drop the ticket in. And that's pretty much how it works.
I bet it's a different show when you see all those different techniques and different, all that stuff going on. It's like a science, I guess.
Yeah. There's all kinds of different things. Like, I mean, some teams, they put pineapples in their stuff. And then some teams, they do like crazy seasonings and sauces. So every team's a little bit different. And so it's awesome to see what they do. Some's more spicy, some's more mild. It's just.
There was a team you had the first year that I think they told me it was their first time bowling crawfish ever.
Wow.
Ever. I don't know if they meant as a team or as individuals or what.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is going to suck. And I tried it and they were like killer. I think I might have even voted for them. I don't remember, but
Rookie of the year?
Yeah, dude, it was really, really good. I was super impressed.
The rookies that I can remember from the first year was Woody's Roadside.
And
So-
I think it was, the bail bonds company. I want to say maybe they told me that, but I don't want to mess that up. My memory's terrible.
Yeah, they were out there
So-
too. Shout out to Woody's. They came out first time ever cooking crawfish with a team. And I mean, they blew it out the water.
Yeah.
So
Maybe it was them. I don't know.
who knows?
My memory's shit.
I can't remember from 2019.
Exactly.
either.
I mean, these crawfish cook-offs are like a cult following. Like they go
They really-
all over the place, and it's like you tell me my crawfish isn't good, I'm gonna come find you. You know what I'm saying?
They really are. And what's crazy about this year is Louisiana is still under a lot of heavy lockdown restrictions.
right.
They can't do a lot of live events and stuff. Slidell, Louisiana, hosts one of the largest crawfish cook-offs in the Southeast.
I believe
They do it on like this 700-acre park in Slidell, Louisiana. They have tons of teams, tons of participants. I mean, it's $100,000 event easily.
Wow.
So since Louisiana isn't doing this cook-off, this is their second year in a row they haven't been able to do it. We've had tons of overflow from that cook-off. So we have 25 teams that we fit in our parking lot. I have a waiting list probably with 40 additional teams waiting for another team to drop out.
See, I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Are the teams, the 25 teams, are they all local teams, like local people?
Most
local
of them are
businesses?
local. Yes, most of them are local. Some are from North Mississippi. I know there's some people traveling from as far as Tennessee to come to this
Holy
event.
shit. What
do they know about Tennessee? What do they know about crawfish in Tennessee?
Apparently they know something.
We're going to try it out there.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this numerous times on the show already. It's like, I don't want people to know the secret about crawfish because we got a friend of ours that travels a lot, and he'll text us when he sees like, oh, I was in such and such state, northern state, west, whatever. That's not, crawfish city.
Yeah.
We ate crawfish here. And I'm like, don't tell them not to do that, because then the price is going to go up and everybody's going to know about it, man. We ain't going to be able to get them down here.
It's definitely a southern delicacy.
Yeah. Keep calling them mud bugs. Like, they're nasty.
They're terrible.
Don't touch them. Don't touch them.
And people don't cook them like we do down here. Like we cook them the right way. There's other people that,
that throw them in the ice chest and then pour the seasoning on top.
Yeah, like weird stuff.
Man,
you see those viral videos on Facebook. You're like, what is this?
I saw one the other day. A dude was putting mustard on him. I was like, what in God's name is going on here?
Hey, do what you got to do. And the beauty of it is at our crawfish cook-off, you can do that.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Do what you got to do to be different.
Yeah.
And if it's good, people will vote for you.
But the teams, so are they mainly like, I know they're teams, but I mean, are they just like a group of people, no business affiliation, like just a bunch of friends, or are they people trying to promote their business and get out there?
A majority of them have been private teams that compete through a lot of crawfish cook-offs throughout the Southeast. But we also have a lot of commercial teams,
like semi-pro. Semi-pro teams. Is that what you're saying? Like they go to more than just yours?
Semi-pro teams, but it's guys that know what they're doing,
right?
And they compete in a lot of cook-offs. But we do have some commercial teams. I think like Lost Pizza from Ocean Springs up there by the Walmart.
Yep.
They're competing this year. The first year we had Gill's Fish Camp come out. Kevin Gill, he cooks fantastic crawfish. Yeah. So he didn't come the past 2 years. He's just busy. He's running his business.
He's running a business.
He came out the first year to have fun with us. But we also have some commercial teams like Floor Trader is one of them. I've actually got a list. Let me see if I can pull it up and I can name off some of these commercial teams for you. But majority of them are private teams. Let's see. We got Crustacean Nation, Crawfish Partners, Little Market Deli and Bakery, which is they're a commercial team. He owns the bakery down in
half of the cool stuff is it's kind of like fantasy football. Half of the thing is making up a cool name so everybody knows who they are.
There's a lot of cool names. I'll name some of them off here, but Southside Barbecue, they're a commercial team, and they're the ones that won last year, so they're coming back this year to compete again. So if you are competing, they're the ones to beat. Southside Barbecue,
target on their back,
champs.
Sack of Boil and Love, they've been here every year.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Team Simmer Down, they've been with us every year. Bug Life, Food Booze and Hiccups, they're a commercial team. Food Booze and Hiccups does stuff in Ocean Springs. Swamp Dogs, Team Lost Pizza Company, which is a commercial team. The Floor Trader, which is a commercial team. Pinch and Tails. Tail Pinchers. The Blackwell Boys. Thirsty Garage Team 1 and Thirsty Garage Team 2.
What the hell's going on there?
Team
Dose.
They've got enough people. They entered 2 teams.
Wow.
So Mud Bud Junkies, the Boot Outlet Boilers, the Shellfish Lovers, and Keg and Barrel, which is Keg and Barrel in Ocean Springs. That's a commercial team. And then one of the other teams that we have is Mitchell Distributing. They entered a team, so they're commercial. And then Rob Blackman, shout out to Rob Blackman, alderman of the city of Ocean Springs. He entered a team, so we've got some city support there.
Right. You better not be pulling no crazy stuff with that city municipality connection.
Yeah.
But let's talk about supply. So the team, how do you enter? Number one, I know you said you got a waiting list 40 deep, so this may not really be worth people's time, but how do you enter
for next year?
Yeah, for next year. And then also too, did the team supply their own crawfish? Are you buying from one distributor and making sure that all happens? How's that working?
So the teams enter through downtownoceansprings.com. That's all one word, downtownoceansprings.com. It's a website that I manage, and that's what we host like major events through, like the Crawfish Cook-Off. So you just go to downtownoceansprings.com, you click on the event tab, or you can find the crawfish stuff, hit get tickets, and there's a portal that says, get your general admission tickets. So if you're wanting to come general admission, you just go to downtownoceansprings.com. You can get your pre-sale now. Or if you wanted to enter a team, there's a ticket option for teams, and then there's also a ticket option for vendors. Vendors and teams are both sold out for this year, obviously, but that's how you pretty much enter. If you want to get in for the 2022,
when's it open up?
The 2022, it'll open up around the end of February.
Okay.
And again, it'll be on downtownoceansprings.com. So if you want to compete on 2022, and I tell this to everyone that's called, remember I said I had a waiting list of like 40 teams. So go to downtownoceansprings.com. On the footer of the website, you can put in your email address for notifications and updates.
Yes.
We only send out like maybe 3 or 4 notifications a year.
There you go. No spammy.
Yeah, no spamming. We're not going to spam you with BS every year. One of the notifications that we send out every year is the launch of the Crawfish Cook-Off.
Okay.
So if you want to get in for 2022, go to the footer of downtownoceansprings.com and put in your email address. Our team sold out within a week and a half of us launching the event. Our vendors sold out within 3 weeks. I said we have a waiting list of like 40 teams. We've also got a waiting list of maybe like 20, 25 vendors. So, I mean, it's very popular. People hit us up. I still get phone calls pretty much every morning of people like, hey, can I still enter a team? And like I said, a lot of the overflow from Slidell, because of Louisiana being still under shutdown and them being one of the largest cook-offs, we get tons of phone calls from the Louisiana Slidell area. Hey, can I enter a team? Hey, can I enter, vendor and stuff like that. So we appreciate you guys, and we're glad you found the event, and we're glad you want to compete. We're limited with space, obviously. So if you want to get in for next year, like I said, footer of downtownoceansprings.com. One of the things that we're doing is after this year, I would like to maybe expand out of the 62 car parking lot.
I was thinking about asking that.
And we want to expand into Government Street a little bit. I've kind of talked with Ricky, who's the alderman of Ward 2 for the downtown Ocean Springs area. And, we really want to expand and maybe push a lot of the vendors into the street area.
Okay. Give you more.
Kind of like a small Peter Anderson festival.
Exactly. Have more vendors on the street area and seating and everyone to enjoy the crawfish, and then have all of the teams actually within the parking lot. So that would free up enough space to where we could fit 20 additional teams into the parking lot. So hopefully we can do that for 2022. We'll work with the city with that and see what happens.
Ocean Springs loves shutting Government Street down.
They do.
They do. There should be no problem.
And I probably shouldn't say this. I won't say any names. I won't, leak too much information here. But I've talked to some city officials, and what they're pushing for the future is shutting down Government Street for walkability and for festival environments at least once a month.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah. That's right up their alley.
I'm good with that, though.
Yeah, I know. I think it's great. And
speaking of Ocean Springs, today's Bridge Day.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge is back open.
The bridge is back open.
Thank God. You don't know how much you appreciate something.
You don't have to get in a dinghy and go across the channel to Gill's Fish Camp.
Yeah, that's right.
We were going to start running charters just straight across the Fort Bayou.
Service. You could have done
old school ferry, pulling the rope.
But did we touch on the allocation of crawfish? Where are the actual crawfish coming from?
They come from a supplier out of Louisiana. So shout out to Ricky Handler.
Okay.
He's one of our partners. It's me, Michael Pleasant, and Ricky.
From good old D'Iberville.
Yep, from D'Iberville. We're the 3 guys that put it on. And Ricky does the D'Iberville Moose Lodge Crawfish Cook-Off. So
he actually messaged me a while ago to get on for the Elks Lodge, and we just we ran out of time. Got all this too quick. So.
Yeah, but he puts on that crawfish. So Ricky's job with us, and the reason we partner with him is he supplies the crawfish for us. So we hit up Ricky, we let him know how many sacks we need to order, and then he gets with the supplier out of Louisiana. They drive in a truck that morning and drop everything off for us.
So once you register as a team, I'm sure that in the fee it's all covered or whatever. You just show up that day and the crawfish are delivered to you.
Yep. So teams get 2 sacks of crawfish, and then we also have an additional ticket. We cut this ticket off around like mid-May. But teams that do sign up have the ability to purchase an additional sack of crawfish through us at cost through Ricky from the supplier from Louisiana.
So if they mess one up, they can get a mulligan?
Or if they just want to cook more. A lot of teams want to cook more. So the event starts at noon. That's when we open the gates for the public. So the event runs from noon until it's pretty much over. So and typically the past 2 years, what's happened is once we actually run out of crawfish, that's when the event kind of ends.
Okay.
Is there a time limit on cooking the crawfish?
No, there's not. It's an all-day event. So you take your time, cook the crawfish as you want to. You don't have to cook everything at once. You can cook a sack, put it out there. Once it's gone, cook a sack, put it out there. I mean, it's completely up to the teams
and
how
the
fast they want to cook it.
The judgings, after everything's cooked?
No,
so
the judges are the people.
Yeah, the judges.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. After everything's cooked, you go around and you're judging as it goes on.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't have like a judges.
Mhm.
We have completely people's choice. So from the moment the gates open to the event ends, it's people with voting tickets can vote.
That's what I was going to say though. So that's another element of the competition, right? You got to make sure that you have supply, your crawfish coming out in front of the most people that you can.
Exactly.
Right. You don't want to dump them all at once and then a bunch of people gobble them up and they don't vote as much because
it's a little.
That's part of the strategy.
Well,
it's
also if you boil crawfish a lot, not every pot of crawfish tastes the same.
Stay the same,
Right.
But the professionals probably know how to mitigate that to some degree, I'm sure.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of it is you just got to choose.
You got to figure it out.
You got to figure it out.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
so you either got to have it in front of everybody, hot and ready, and then have your second pot taste the same as your first pot to hopefully get those votes too.
Yep.
What did it average out the past 2 years as far as around about time you announced the winner? Started at 12. Is it? Were we talking 8 o'clock at night? Or?
The past 2 years, usually around the very first year, which is the year that you attended, 2019. We had a rainstorm come through around 3:30.
Okay.
And so the event itself, like a lot of people kind of left the event around 3:30. The event itself ended around 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And that's when most of the voter tickets had been turned in, and then people kind of dissipated, and we had hardly any crawfish left. So from about 12 to 4 is when the first year happened. The second year, 2020, or was it? Yeah, 2020. The second year, 2020, that one lasted from noon to about 4:30.
Okay.
It's only like a 30-minute difference from the first year. And the only reason that one ended is because the teams cooked all their crawfish.
Yeah,
there wasn't much crawfish left.
Yeah. Right.
So the event usually happens from noon to about 4:30.
You make like an announcement like, hey, we're about to, 30 more minutes ish or whatever. If you got a ticket still, it's time to vote kind of thing.
Yep. We have a live mic out there, so we make announcements, let everyone know what's going on and everything.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm ready.
Yeah, it's fun.
We'll be hanging out.
Let's talk vendors. Who's going to be there? Or can you? It's not a secret, right? You're telling.
No, it's not a secret. I don't have the vendor list on me, or else I would name off some vendors.
But I mean, food trucks. What's it going to be? Is it going to be?
So there is no hot food vendors. All of the hot food, like if you want anything other than crawfish, because it's a crawfish cook.
Right.
Coming
you
for
come
the
to eat crawfish.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. So if you want anything other than crawfish, Pleasant's Barbecue is going to be set up, and they're serving their full menu. So and they'll have like vendors set up out there by the beer tents and everything, where you can get like pulled pork sandwiches and all that good stuff. But vendor wise, we have Eat with the Joneses is coming out, and they're basically like a lemonade stand.
Okay, that's cool.
And they've come out the past 2 years with us, and they've made a killing. They're one of the most profitable vendors that come out with us, and it's basically because other people that are attending our event, going to get fresh squeezed lemonade and everything.
Trying to cool that heat down a little
exactly,
bit.
Exactly. And it gets hot out there.
Yeah.
May 29th.
That and the spice.
Yeah, it gets hot out there. So Eat with the Joneses will be there, but we also have a handful of like there's like jewelry vendors, food vendors, like not hot food vendors like beef jerky and stuff like that. There's some art vendors that come out. So it's just like a handful of fun vendors. One of the craziest, before I hop into that, we also have Kona Ice, which does
my kids go crazy for it.
Exactly.
It's
like
that daggone truck that pulls up.
Snow cones, shaved ice and all that. So they'll be out there for the kids and everything. But one of the craziest vendors we have out there this year is a guy that is coming from Tennessee that does like trailers. He sells trailers and stuff. So he's coming out there to set up one of his like crazy like toy hauler trailers for people to like look at.
We might be in the market.
Yeah. So if you're
we're looking for
a trailer and you're
actually.
also interested in crawfish, you know,
Actually, that fits us.
That's actually what we're trying to do.
Looking for a trailer. So
they'll be out there. You can
We'll
check them out and talk to him.
Nice. Tell people like a little bit about your background. We haven't touched on that yet. So, what how'd you get? Why do this? Like, what's your thing?
So I started working with Michael Pleasant back in like 2014. And that's when that parking lot was kind of developed in there and everything. And I do a lot of digital marketing. I manage the digital marketing footprint for about 32 businesses on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Michael Pleasant being one of them. And Michael kind of approached me and said, hey, we have this parking lot next to us. What can we do to capitalize on it? And the reason being, it's not just a parking lot next to Pleasant's Barbecue. It's named, the name of the parking lot is the Michael Pleasant's parking lot. It's named after his father.
Okay.
Sweet. I didn't know that.
So the Pleasant's Barbecue has been in business since like 1984.
Whoa.
Pleasant's Barbecue itself is the longest operating restaurant in downtown Ocean Springs.
Nice.
Like they're the oldest that's still in operation.
Right.
So he kind of approached me like, what can we do to capitalize on this parking lot? Like, is there anything we can do event wise? So from 2014 till now, we've hosted a series of different events. We've done like pig roast where we've roasted a whole pig. Mm-hmm. We've done a couple other like crawfish type events. We've partnered with Amanda with Wildflyer, who has a business in downtown Ocean Springs to do like pop-up skate parks in conjunction with like barbecue cook-off type things and stuff like that. So we've done a wide variety of events in the parking lot since 2014. And going back to Ricky, who does the D'Iberville Moose Lodge cook-off, he's the one that really approached us in 2018 and said, hey, are y'all doing anything else again? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was very successful in 2017. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
So that's when me and Michael kind of just really took the ball and ran with it and set up everything to do this major event that it's grown to what it has now. And what's awesome about it is it's one of the largest crawfish cook-offs on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. In comparison to like the Coliseum, what those guys do, they're the biggest.
Right.
You know, those are the guys that have the biggest crawfish cook-off that happens on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. But if you take away, the concert that they put on, and if you take away the carnival rides and everything that they put on, and if you look solely at what the Coliseum does with the cook-off, I think they only had 25 teams this year.
How many?
So that's the same as y'all.
Yeah,
right?
the pounds maybe that they cook.
I don't know how many pounds they cook.
Probably close.
I have to look up to. I have to do some research on that.
I think the standard's like 2 sacks per team. So
that's typically what it is. Yeah. So they had 25 teams this past year, and we've had 25 teams plus the previous 2 years. So I like to say, and this is kind of unofficially announcing, maybe self-proclaimed,
air quotes,
that we're one of the second largest, if not the largest, official crawfish cook-off on the Gulf Coast.
Right.
And so, like, we kind of take pride in that and hope to grow it, like I said, into the street and expand into Government Street and have it even bigger.
Hell yeah, man!
I'm all about it.
That crawfish and beer.
Yeah.
What else could you want, man? Right? Shout out to Jordan and Matthew.
Yeah.
That's it's always a good time. That's an easy sell to people, right? I mean,
It's
I don't know what else you would do.
pretty easy.
Crawfish is a very easy thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we supply the 2 sacks, pass it off to the team, and they do all the magic. I mean, it's an easy event to kind of.
So tell us about what you do for a living. Just explain that to us.
I do digital media marketing. So my primary business is Trevor Reid Designs LLC. I went to Mississippi State University. I got my BA in marketing. So when I first came back down to the coast after graduating from state, I started working with Christina Mizo at the Juke Joint.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been working with the Juke Joint all the way up until today. I have 3 different owners.
Yeah,
I'm like the longest running employee of the Juke Joint. I like to say
Still
sometimes.
There. Here, you and Brittany.
Yeah. Me and
Brittany, yeah.
So when I came back down in 2013, I just kind of, started hustling and working and expanding my portfolio and expanding my clientele. And now I represent 32 different businesses on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and I handle their entire digital media footprint from websites to social media to their content creation to their graphic design, just everything involved with a computer. That's what I do. So
marketing an event, that's right in your wheelhouse, right?
Yeah. It definitely helps. So I have a lot of clients that are in the downtown Ocean Springs area. Pleasant's Barbecue is just one of them. Mm-hmm. Juke Joint's just one of them. I've got a lot of them, Knuckleheads, The Office, Mosaics, The Beer House, Amanda at Wildfire. Like I manage a lot of people in downtown Ocean Springs. So in 2015-ish, that's when I was like, okay, let's develop downtown Ocean Springs into like this entity that I can control, that I can help market and promote these clients that I work for.
Everything in one place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like I went online, and what was the shocker to me is downtownoceansprings.com was available to purchase.
Yeah.
So I was like,
no way.
Yeah. GoDaddy for $1?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll take
it. So I bought that, and then I developed the website. And it kind of promotes not just my clients, but it promotes everyone as a whole. It's more of like a tourism type local marketing strategy that's behind it. And then we developed that also into the Facebook page and the Instagram page. And that kind of rolled over to also downtownbiloxi.com. Mm-hmm. So we have the Downtown Biloxi Facebook page and Instagram page. And I work strategically with Main Street Biloxi, and also work strategically with the district on Howard.
Yep.
Those Bobby and all them.
Yeah, those events y'all been doing over there.
And so I've primarily been focused with downtown Biloxi and downtown Ocean Springs. Just recently at the last First Friday event in downtown Biloxi, I met up with Lisa Robinson at the city of D'Iberville, and she was like, "Hey, I've been stalking your stuff."
Nice.
Yeah. Is that where you took that super sweet picture?
Yeah. I like scurried up a roof like Spider-Man.
That was the same roof we were hanging out one night, right?
Yeah. But anyway, so Lisa Robinson hit me up with the city of D'Iberville, and she was like, I've been stalking your stuff. I love what you're doing with Ocean Springs and Biloxi. We want to incorporate that in D'Iberville, but we really don't have a downtown D'Iberville.
Right.
Like there is a downtown D'Iberville area, but it's not like what it is with Ocean Springs and Biloxi. So she was like, what can we do to strategically, take what you're doing and implement it into D'Iberville? So we made D'IbervilleMississippi.com, and we also made the D'Iberville Mississippi Facebook pages and Instagram pages.
Right.
And we're pretty much doing the same thing that we do with downtown Ocean Springs and downtown Biloxi, but into the D'Iberville market. And that's brand new. So if you're checking it out right now, it might not look like much, but it's going to be happening soon.
Yeah. And where are they considered? Is that at the, I guess what is the main going flow right there? Is that where that's
from basically like from the Scarlet Pearl up to like,
the Walmart-ish.
From the Walmart-ish.
The new Walmart.
Yeah, personally, I consider it from like the Scarlet Pearl to like maybe like fried green tomato area.
That's where like,
a little further
north.
Comments, yeah. But that's primarily your downtown D'Iberville. But we're not focused on just that area, because D'Iberville blew up from the promenade.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're focusing on including all of D'Iberville into that strategic campaign.
Yeah. We had some of the people running for the local government here in D'Iberville, for a couple of different wards, and they talked to us about how D'Iberville has downtown water frontage that is not being utilized right now,
Correct.
which is
Yes.
absolutely correct.
Yes.
That takes a lot of like build out, I guess, in the form of like you need some restaurants down there, you need some type of attractions down there that aren't technically there yet. But I know that the city of D'Iberville, like you're saying, is reaching out. They want to focus on bringing people down there to hang out.
Yeah.
They have all the potential in the world, even south of what the promenade has already done.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's
And
untapped potential.
after Katrina, once the building codes changed, you got to build like 30 feet in the air.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
tough.
in the flood zone.
It's 21.
Yeah,
to be
exactly.
exact.
It's tough. It's
21.
tough.
So after Katrina, and once the environment itself evolved from having hurricane disasters, everything kind of moved north to D'Iberville.
Right.
And that's where you see like the rise of the promenade and everything. And like you said, one of the waterfront things that have happened recently is Biloxi Bay RV Resort.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But that's really not technically in D'Iberville.
No.
That's in St. Martin.
Not if it's the one I'm thinking of in Porto Bay.
yeah, it's in Porto Bay.
yeah.
So it's kind of
St.
St.
Martin,
Martin.
yeah.
But Biloxi Bay RV Resort is south of the Porto Bay. They're gonna be, I want to say, don't quote me on this. It's like maybe like 300 RV spots.
I was by there the other day and it was
Yeah.
packed. I didn't even know it was
Yeah.
open and there was RVs everywhere.
Oh, they've been booked out every weekend.
Yeah, I'm like,
and then
what's going on?
what's crazy is they're not even finished with construction,
Right.
And they're
Yeah.
packed out.
Yeah.
They're still trying to complete the clubhouse.
Yep.
They're still getting the pool together. They're gonna
It's
have a
supposed to be
lazy
Lazy
pool.
River.
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. They're getting all that completely built out and still done, but they're still packed out with the spots that they have
That's crazy.
finished. And they're going to have pontoon boat rentals and everything. So you can go to Biloxi Bay RV Resort, rent a pontoon boat, go to Deer Island or cruise Back Bay, whatever you want to do. So I mean,
that needs to be like when you run in from Horn Island, Ship Island, wherever you come back in, you go into Brittany Launch. If you could just pull your boat right there on the sandbar,
yeah.
hang out in the pool,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
go back. That would be
Like
sweet.
kind of like Wahoo's.
Yeah,
except
kind of like
more
that.
shit.
The
Let's stop
clubhouse,
coming in.
the clubhouse there is going to be great. It's
Yeah.
got a huge bar. You can go down there right now. Anyone that wants to go check it out can go drive through the park and check it out. But the clubhouse that they're finishing building out, which will be done soon, they have a huge bar where you can pull up, like you said, with your pontoon boat or
Right.
your regular boat. You can go up to the bar and check it out, hang out, go hit up the lazy river, do whatever you want to do.
That would be
Yeah,
sweet.
I took some pictures of it the other day.
I saw your
the
video
bay.
the other day.
Yeah.
Some guy was cutting some big pine limb off.
Yeah. That was Blake. Shout out to Blake. He likes to climb trees and cut down
Yeah, it
limbs.
looked pretty dangerous. I didn't want nothing to do with that. So.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anything we haven't touched on, man, when it comes to the crawfish cook-off? Or
Well, you got a new event. What's
the
the new event coming up?
The new event coming up is the kickoff to summer pub crawl featuring the Biloxi Clydesdales. So I've been doing pub crawls. Like I said, I do a lot of events with downtownoceansprings.com. So we've probably done like 4 or 5 different pub crawls over the few years. And I got the idea from Key West. Have you guys ever been to Key West?
Yes, it's amazing.
So Duval Street on
Absolutely.
Key West.
Yeah.
If you go to Duval Street on Key West, there's tons of bars. And the way I like to describe
And
it,
chickens.
yeah, and lots of chickens. The way I like to describe Key West Duval Street is like a clean Bourbon Street.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
Same
if
thing.
you were to go pressure wash Bourbon Street and spray it with Febreze.
And get people to stop puking all over.
yeah,
it.
that's Duval Street
It's
in Key
amazing.
West. So one of the things I noticed when I was in Key West is they had these little booths set up every now and then where you can go up there and you can do like a pub crawl.
Mhm.
And you go up to this little booth and it's a small little booth with like a girl behind the counter. You pay like $20-$25 and you get like this pub crawl card and you can go up and down all the bars and you can basically get like a drink from each bar at a discounted rate.
Right.
And the reason they do this is they have a lot of high traffic cruise ships that come in. So people come in and off the cruise ships. They're there for like 1 or 2 days. They do the pub crawls. They get back on the cruise ship, go off. So anyways, I liked the concept and I liked the idea because typically your traditional pub crawl, especially down here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast that I've done research on, your traditional pub crawl starts at a certain time, ends at a certain time.
And it's usually poker run kind of style.
Yeah, it's like a poker run kind of
Yeah.
style. Like you go to this bar at this time,
Get a
you go to
card,
this bar
yeah.
at that time, you go to this bar at that time, and then at the end of the night, you turn in your card or whatever.
Right.
So I was like, that's ridiculous.
That is
Right.
a lot. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work because like a lot of the times these traditional pub crawls, you're either blocking off the street so people can pub crawl around and you got to like pay like security and police and all that stuff. And then other areas that did it like this, you had to like, I remember Tina Simmons at Biloxi Bay Chamber. I love you. You're awesome.
I just saw her today.
Yeah, they did a pub crawl with Biloxi, and I think they had to rent like party buses
to bring everybody
around because it's stretched out.
Yeah.
It's not like a bunch of places.
It's like 10 miles. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, it's like, let's go to Big Play Entertainment Center, then let's go to Woody's, and let's go to the Reef. And so they had like a bus kind of bringing everybody around. So I was like, that's ridiculous. Let's do a pub crawl where you get a pub crawl card, just like Duval Street in Key West, and it has all the bars listed, and you crawl at your own pace. It's not time limited.
So you can just hang out all day if you wanted to.
Yeah. So that's what I've done the past few years. I've done one in the summer. I did one for Patty's Day. I did one for Mardi Gras, all in like 2019 prior to COVID stuff. And we were doing good. And the catch to it is you pub crawl and you have a chance to win like $500.
Okay.
Right. So like at the end of the night, you turn in your pub crawl card at the juke joint usually. And then we do a random drawing and the winner wins $500.
Okay. So that's different than a poker run where you get cards. Anybody can win this. It's just luck of the draw.
Yeah. Anyone can win this. It's luck of the draw. So, I mean, you're going to be out drinking anyway and bouncing around. So you might as well like bounce around with your card for a chance to win $500.
Right.
So, this year, 2020, Mitchell Distributing, Paul at Mitchell Distributing, shout out to you. He hit me up around a couple weeks ago and he was like, hey, COVID restrictions have kind of lifted. We want to bring the Clydesdales back down to the Gulf Coast. We don't have anything because they partnered with Jeep in the Coast.
They were at D'Iberville not too long ago. They ran through the streets a couple years ago.
So the Clydesdales and Budweiser and Mitchell Distributing, they partnered with Jeep in the Coast this year to do like it might be Thursday through Saturday. Every city have a different event with the Jeeps and everything.
Right.
The Clydesdales usually come to Ocean Springs on Sunday.
Yes.
They didn't have an event to piggyback off of because there wasn't no Jeep in the Coast in Ocean Springs.
Right.
So Paul hit me up because we work strategically with Mitchell Distributing on the Crawfish Cook-Off. We've done that with them for 3 years. So he hit me up and he was like, hey, we want to bring the Clydesdales back down. We need an event to piggyback off of. Like, what can we do? And I was like, kick off the summer pub crawl. Yeah. It's right there. It's the perfect day. Ding, 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 ding. Exactly. So, we crotted our T's, dotted our I's, did what we have to do to get the pub crawl, going, and they're bringing the Clydesdales back down. So it's the 2021 kick off the summer pub crawl featuring the Budweiser Clydesdales.
I got the flyer up right there, people. You can see
they're going down
downtown
Government. Is that where they're going to be going?
Yeah, so they're going to be kind of starting around Knuckleheads, from my understanding, and they're working with the city in conjunction to figure out exactly where the horses are going. So they're going to be kicking off around Knuckleheads. The kickoff party is at 1 p.m. at Knuckleheads. You can come there and get your pub crawl card at Knuckleheads, or you can pre-order it online now at downtownoceansprings.com, and then come to Knuckleheads to get your actual card the day of the event. But yeah, they're kicking off around Knuckleheads, and they'll be going from there to around Washington Avenue, down Government Street to the juke joint and everything. So, I mean, it's going to be a fun event. It's going to be a little bit less traditional than it was the past, few years that they've come down, where they stop at every bar and give out like a case because of COVID restrictions still.
Right.
It's going to be a little bit different. So they're basically just going to be parading with a little bit of less interaction.
Yeah.
Sweet.
If you've never been to that or never seen those things,
bring your kids.
They look fake. If they weren't standing right in front of me, I would think it was not a real.
Those horses are gigantic.
They're massive. Yeah. They look fake.
So, they're pretty crazy.
Yeah, they are. Trevor, man, you got a lot going on, dude. I'm glad you stopped in here to tell us all about it today.
Yep.
It's that's really cool stuff. I'm gonna flash on the screen again for people because I know we covered a lot of material here today. The first one that's happening first, we're gonna go chronological order right here. May 29th, the third annual Downtown Ocean Springs Crawfish Cook-Off. We've said it before, 2,000 pounds, 25 teams. Okay, I had two stuck in my head.
2,600 pounds.
20. Okay. Oh yeah. See, I had to. I've been reciting it off, so it's stuck in my head the other way. 2,600 pounds, 25 teams. Man, go down there, check it out, get you a beer, vote, tell us who you think is the, it's your choice. So tell us who you think is the best. And then after you have,
we got like 100 brown water koozies for that event too. So
we're going to be out there hanging out. We're going to go live and probably do a walkthrough for sure.
Absolutely.
Talk to some of the team guys and see what they got to say. And then after you have fun at that event, this is the pub crawl that we were talking about. Again,
following weekend.
Downtown Ocean Springs. That's right.
Bring the kids.
June the 6th, kick off the summer. I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. Featuring the Budweiser Clydesdales. Again, that's just a whole nother thing of fun. It says win $1,000 in prizes. Pub crawl cards are $5 and on sale at downtownoceansprings.com. You can go check it out. And the whole thing kicks off and starts at Knuckleheads. Did I hear that right?
Knuckleheads at 1 p.m. Yeah.
And then when's that winner going to be announced?
The winner will be announced the following day.
Okay.
So it'll be probably around 5 to 6 p.m. the following day on a Facebook Live video on the Downtown Ocean Springs page.
Boom, boom. Loads of fun, people. If you're looking for something to do, you get out of the house. COVID restrictions are starting to ease. We're bringing you the info, so you don't have to say thank you. We understand.
Drink Budweiser and Busch Latte.
There you go. Trevor, thanks again for coming out, brother. We appreciate it.
No problem.
I got a feeling it probably won't be the first or the last time that we work with you on some stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
Yep.
We got tons of stuff going on, and you guys are awesome.
There we go, bro. Thank you so much.
man.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for watching on the replays, and thanks for listening on the audio podcast. We are out, and we will see you
later.